Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is a beautiful late August morning here in Southwest Florida. And there's a lot going on. It is rainy season, so we're getting rained on every day, every other day. A lot of the orchids are looking really good. There's only a few that I want to share with you today. And just so you know, today I'm fighting the background noise of road construction. So you may be able to hear, the backup sounds of the large equipment that's on the street right out there. And anyway, I just want to do a quick video on a few of my plants, but I got a lot of stuff going on and I got a lot of things coming. The first thing is I want to share with you, it's a couple of plants that I brought to my local orchid society, and I'm excited. I don't know whether I deserve it, but I got these ribbons right here. It's interesting. I got the ribbons. I'm happy with the ribbons, but I received these ribbons because there weren't that many entries in these categories. There's a lot of there were a lot of vandas that were brought in. A lot of the vandas locally are blooming now, and they're beautiful. They put on a really good show. I still have small vandas, vanda seedlings. I've got just one. I don't have that many, but I just have one that's putting out a bloom spike. But these plants that got these little, again, local society awards, just popular vote, are two members of the Oncidium family. So, and I've shared with you this in the past. So this is Britonia Dark Star Darth Vader, and when I brought it into the show, it had 5 bloom spikes on it, but it only had one bloom spike that was where the flowers were open. So, and on that bloom spike, I think there were only 4. There's been a 5th bloom that's opened up. Since bringing it in, and this is the first place only because this was the only one that was entered in the Oncidium category, like I said. And right now I have, out of the 5 bloom spikes, I have flowers on 3 of them. So I have one, and on this bloom spike, it looks like there are 5 flowers open. This one, there's 2 with one. One will be open later today, and this one only has 1. There's 2 bloom spikes where there's no flowers coming out or no flowers open at all. I do have another plant, a division from this, and it also has 1 flower open, I think, maybe 2 on one of the 2 bloom spikes on that plant. So this is normally I struggle a little bit with these plants, but this seems to be a really nice bloomer, seems to be doing well with very little care. All right, this one right here, this is this I got a 2nd place ribbon on, and this is another Oncidium. I should say that Dark Star Darth Vader, no fragrance, nothing. I've been smelling it every morning, every evening, in the day. There's nothing there, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but that's okay. All right, on this Oncidium, this was on the NOID table, the no ID table, and you have to compete with a lot of different orchids that are noids, from just really beautiful, very diverse, as you might imagine. I think the one that won in this category was just an incredible dendrobium, but there was no ID on it. They didn't know what it was, and you couldn't identify it. And anyway, this Oncidium, I think I picked this up at a garage sale a few years ago. They were actually selling an orchid rack, a 3-tiered shelving thing for orchids, and I wanted that, so I bought that, and I bought it from this garage sale, and the person selling, this was a few years ago, said, I just wanted the rack, and they said, do you want the orchids? And I said, no, I don't really need more orchids, and they were no IDs. And they said, well, okay, just take them. And I think there were maybe around 10 orchids on there. I'm not sure how many I still have. But this put out really a nice bloom spike. This was loaded. I didn't think, based on the other plants that were on the Noid table, I didn't think this would win anything because there were so many really nice plants on that table. But this put out. It's a very healthy plant. Put out a nice bloom spike. It was probably about half in bloom. Now I think it's almost in full bloom. There's a few unopened flowers just on the tip of the spike, but this is a nice growing plant, doing well. It's in, I should say, it's in 100% lava stone, but it seems to be doing very well. The fragrance on this, I notice most mornings it's light, but there is some fragrance. And I'm still trying to dissect and understand what the fragrance is on these plants, but this seems to be kind of a little bit of a sour baby powder fragrance that's associated with it. It's nice. I still like it, but it's again, it's a Noid. I asked one of my orchid growing colleagues who identifies everything what this is, and he spent about 15 minutes on it and couldn't figure it out. So it may just kind of remain a no ID plant, and that's fine. Okay, so that's this guy. Again, I'm happy with my awards. They don't mean that much. They're nice to have, and I accumulate a few of them, and then I give them back to the society so they can give them out to other people for other plants. Okay, I got two more plants that I want to show you. This is a progeny plant of Wulang, and I've shared this with you in the past. I really like this flower as much or better than Wulang. I should mention that my Wulang, my multiple Wulang plants that I now have, because they're so easy to propagate. And I have a Wulang that's in another Wulang that has a keiki on it that I'm going to make even more. Yay! Actually, I got two Wulangs that have keikis on it. Anyway. I have different plants even. So I have, but the Wulang it's a really nice flower. The thing that I like about Wulang is the fragrance that's associated with it, the nice flower coloration. This is a Wulang progeny plant right here, and this is the first one that I've gotten to bloom. I do have more that are getting ready, I think, but I had this. I used this in some additional crosses with some other of my dendrobiums, but I thought I was done with blooms on this plant, so I repotted the plant there. It's kind of growing sideways. It was in a small pot. If it wasn't supported, it would have fallen over. But I put it in its own clay pot now that maybe either on the bottom of the screen or outside your view. The thing that I noticed, not when I repotted, but after I repotted, is there's yet another bloom spike coming out on this plant. This is the first bloom on this plant, and there's another bloom spike coming out with, how many we got? Probably 4, 5, 6 blooms on it. And this is what Wulang does. It produces a bloom, and then that bloom spike that flowers, and then it produces another one, and so you've got really lots of flower. This is all for my larger plants. They're pretty much continual bloomers. And that's the other thing that I wanted to ask you, and I wanted to get your feedback on and in your comments is, with your orchids, do you prefer the continual bloomers that'll put out a bloom spike here, put out a bloom spike here, or do you prefer those that put out all the flowers at the same time? Again, dendrobiums are sporadic bloomers. They put out a new a bloom spike and bloom. They put out another one and bloom. But many of the cattleyas will bloom the same time every year, and they'll save up, and you'll get an explosion of color. And so the question is that what you want, or do you want to have smaller amounts of blooms spread out over the whole year? Let me know what you feel would be more useful. I have both, but I'd like to know with my breeding program what people are interested in. Anyway, back to this guy, back to Wulang. So I'm doing crosses, and I should say I'm plating just a lot of seed capsules. I've got seed capsules, I don't know if you can tell, blowing in the wind behind me. Seed capsule there, seed capsule there. I've got a lot of seed capsules that are ready. I put 5 seed capsules in flasks. The seed from 5 seed capsules in flasks this week. So there's a lot going on in that area. I do want to show you one more plant, and I think I might have to move this guy out of the way because it's a larger plant and it's on the ground here. And this is another one of those plants that is, well, it's a big pot. This is another one of those plants that is a, it's a continual bloomer. And this is Clear Stars. And I love this plant. So a friend gifted me this plant, and this is continual bloomer. So it bloomed just a few months ago. It actually blooms periodically. Whenever there's a new pseudobulb that grows out of this plant, there's another one coming here. I imagine that this is going to bloom in another month or two. These opened, these 2 blooms. I really like the bloom. I think this is an Nodosa cross. So it's got the thin petals and sepals, but it's got a really nice big lip on this plant. So I've used it in my crosses. I named my first cross using Clear Stars just a short time ago. So anyway, these are open, and this is a nice plant. Unfortunately, no fragrance on that. But what's going on here, it's got these 2 flowers, and then over here on this bloom spike right here, over there, it's got 2 flowers that'll probably be open in a couple weeks. So this shows kind of sporadic blooms spread out over the whole year, so not a big show. The other thing that I want to show you on this plant, this is a big pot, is that I've got a seed capsule right here. And this was only done 3 months ago. So this still has a few months before this seed capsule is ready. And I'm excited about this cross too. But overall, I just really like growing this plant. A real vigorous growers putting out lots of new pseudobulbs, which means I'm going to have lots of new flowers. I should also say that I mentioned I visited the person that gifted this plant to me, and he has 2 Clear Stars, and his were also blooming. They were putting out new pseudobulbs, and they were blooming, and they looked really, really good. So anyway, lots of things going on, lots of blooms to share with you. I'll make more videos as I pull out other blooms. I got a new right there up on my pergola. I hope the flowers open. I've got a new seedling bloom, first time bloom on one of my seedlings, and I'm pretty excited about that. Again, things are going well. It's a nice day. It's great to be here in Southwest Florida, where I can grow my orchids outside and have them proliferate like this. Okay, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, you'd like to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. I'm just looking around. It's a good day. Oh, I got to water today too. So today is my watering day, my water fertilizing day. So I'm looking forward to that, and when I do that, I get a good close-up view of most of my orchids, and I can see what's going on and see if I missed anything. But it's nice to get new surprises and new blooms. All right, again, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.